great team win. We started well, then we fell into a hole, then we fought our way out, and then we made tough plays down the stretch. I think that's huge for us.
I like the defense. You guys switched everything. It really mucked things up for them. How did you like your guys' execution defensively? The guys taking the challenge of guarding one-on-one.
Yeah, and they still, they got a number of threes up. And some of them, we have to do a better job. The rebounding, we have to make sure that we fix that. So some were good, some have to be a lot better. So the important thing for us is to understand what it is. It's one win, and then understand that we have to reset and get ready for game two. Yeah, and it's been, this team has fought all year. It's been a pretty good road team. We've had to endure some things with guys being out, and I think over time that helps you. You build up your mental toughness and understanding how important that is. And it's like I said, it's one game. There's a lot of emotional highs and lows in a playoff, but no matter what happens, you have to keep moving forward. Yeah, no, just, it was a great look. Shot it great, didn't go in. That's part of the game. Next play. OG was terrific the whole game. Just, multiple effort plays, that sort of thing. And then the thing I don't want to overlook is, Josh was terrific also, but, Cat had foul trouble, but the rebounding, and making tough plays at the end, that was huge for us. And so I think when you think about that, if you look at his stats shooting-wise, he helped us win, and that's the most important thing. And the same can be said for Mikal. Mikal came up with some big-time rebounds in traffic, and then the steal at the end. And so whatever we have to do to find a way to win, that's the most important thing. So don't get wrapped up in any personal dilemmas or anything like that. Put the team first and just find a way to win.
Are you surprised at all that as you guys are mounting that comeback, and you just mentioned that Cat had foul trouble, they obviously tried to foul mention that you taking him out of the game, that they continued to launch as many threes as they did when you guys were down to your third string center at one point?
Yeah, and that's what they do, and again, I want to look at the quality of those shots, and oftentimes I thought they were scramble situations, ones in which I thought Holiday hurt us with his offensive rebounding. We got to make sure that we get a body on him. He's real quick to the ball, and as a team, they're quick to the ball. So we have to do a better job with that. Yeah, he came up with a big steal too. Like he has a multiple effort mentality. He makes a lot of tough plays for us. He plays with physicality, but it's physicality with intelligence. There's not reckless fouls. It's body position. It's anticipation. It's thinking ahead. It's reading the play. It's reading the tendency. He's got great instincts for that. Well, the thing that he does is he impacts the game, and so if they go to fouling him, you're weighing what's his impact. And I think he was a plus 13 or something when he was on the floor. So the reason why they're doing it is try to get him off the floor. And so what he does is he gives us the ability to switch more, but also rim protect and rebound. And then if they're not in the penalty or then we know we can leave them out there. Then we have to make decisions as we go from there.
You talk about the shots weren't falling, but the defense he played, he hit that three-pointer,
Yeah, the big corner one. Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, and then just at the end, he out-muscled a guy who probably weighs a ton. The way he
Yeah,
just run us through.
those are big-time toughness plays. Just the ball's up in the air, it's a 50-50 ball, and just go get it, and that's what he did. So, when you're trying to win a game, a playoff game, they're hard to win, and you got to make plays like that. So I think your defense, your toughness, your teamwork, that's paramount in a playoff game.
Can you say enough about Jalen in terms of down the stretch? You guys come back from down 20, and then it's a game down the stretch, and it just seems like there's no doubt that in these clutch moments he's going to come through for the team.
Yeah, and it's obviously the obvious is his shot making ability, but it's also his teammates working with him to create advantages, and so understanding what the coverage is, what they're trying to get away from, and then to try to create those advantages. It's everyone working together, and then also trusting the pass when the second and third defender come. Now we can play off of that, and so if there's 2 or 3 guys on him, you just spray it out, and then we can get a good look. And oftentimes, if we don't make that, we get the offensive rebound on it.
With Deuce, I mean, that was probably his best game in the playoffs so far. What allowed him to get going?
Yeah, just playing, keeping it simple. Like not overthinking, not forcing things. Read the game. The game tells you what to do. Play to your strengths. Cover up your weaknesses. And when he does that, he's terrific.
How valuable is when you guys are down 20? It seemed like Josh was the one guy who was getting every rebound and second chance. Just the energy he gave you there.
Yeah, and the same thing. It's not only the rebound, but then to get us to play with pace, to get us up the floor quickly, and then to try to generate some open looks off of that. And we want to attack rim first and then find open threes. And it allowed us to play faster. And so I think that's another area we can do better in.
Tom, you come in believing that you can win this game against a team that did well against you during the season. How much does it change, and how much does it give your guys to now know that they can do it, know that they can come back from what they came back from, and that the game plan is going to work?
Yeah, and again, I think the biggest challenge in the playoffs are dealing with the emotions of the playoffs. And so if you feel too good about yourself, you won't be ready for game 2. So it's one win. And then tomorrow we have to reset and get ready for game 2. And that's all, don't play the series, play the game. What do we have to do to win game 2? And that's where the focus needs to lie. And so I think that's important for us.
The stats are for them, but I mean, they got a bunch of guys that shoot, high 30s, 40s from 3. They want, they're good shooters, and some of them were good looks. So I think y'all saw it took us a little while to figure out how this series is going to be. We got beat with bats for 6 games, so we brought out bats here, and I was like, I don't know if we could have been as physical. So, it took us a little while to figure out how, the game was going to be called, but that's a part of the playoffs, part of the game. You got to figure out by game, series by series, and like I said, it was a tough win, and happy we got it, but we got to move on.
Talk about overcoming missing 14 free throws, coming back double digits, the effort that it took.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't make it a free throw. I think I was 3 for 6. I was terrible. But yeah, like I said, it was just toughness, just grittiness. We have tremendous amount of confidence for everyone that wears a Knicks jersey, and everyone came in and contributed and helped in a positive way.
What do you make of the way Mikal impacted the game, particularly late?
Yeah, I mean that's who Mikal is. He's got a lot of criticism, and he never lets that affect him. And I don't know how many games, down the stretch that he's won for us just on the defensive side alone. The Brooklyn game, the block. The Chicago game, he got a block at the end. Big game this time. Couple, in the Detroit series. So he's been a huge part for this team. Sometimes those things get overlooked, and people just look at stats and they lose sight of how valuable of a player that he is. And he went out there and shot wasn't falling, but he had a big 3 in overtime. I think it was overtime. Plays that go overlooked. He had a back tip. I think that I think Jalen ended up missing the 3, broke jump shot. But just plays like that where his motor is always goes. He's a winning player. He makes winning plays, and he should be celebrated for that.
Again,
keep putting ourselves in these type of games. But, I think we've done a great job of just fighting and giving ourselves a chance to win. And, just to put ourselves in a position where we could find a way to leave here tonight with a win is all it's about. So shout out to this team, the grittiness of this team, the resilience of this team to not, let go of the rope in the third quarter.
Does this build confidence now coming in here, getting game one?
I mean, of course, winning a game makes you feel good, but, just as quick as you win a game, you could lose the next one. And if anything, we've shown y'all that in the Pistons series. So we just got to, enjoy this one tonight. But tomorrow we got to get right back to business. This team is special, obviously defending champions, and they're going to come back hungrier and even execute at a higher level.
What do you guys want to do defensively when you went down 20? They got off 60 threes in this game. They looked like forcing to settle for quite a few.
Just, I thought we did a good job of, like you said, we got some shots were lucky. They missed some threes. I think we all know they make, and we were able to convert those to points. So we did a good job of just getting some fast break points and getting some of the pace back in our offense.
And how did you handle the foul trouble you were in early into that second half?
Just a different physicality than the Detroit series. So we got to adjust. I got to adjust especially.
How much did the last series of grittiness help you out tonight with, the playoff intensity, the atmosphere? Yeah,
I mean, it's just, like I said, we keep finding ourselves, positioning ourselves in the game to be in these kind of games. So, it is what it is. But, we've done a great job all year in the last, series of just putting ourselves in a position to have a chance to win. And we did that tonight, and we just found a way. Shout out to our team.
How about your team defense tonight, especially in that fourth quarter?
I mean, in overtime, we did a great job of not only getting stops, but closing out the possession with a rebound and getting steals. And, of course, at the end, Mikal Bridges, does what he does best. And, after we play 50-plus minutes, he finds a way to have enough energy to kind of make that play. So this team, man, they showed up, and we all showed up when we really needed to, and that's kind of been our MO.
When you get a few stops, when you start to feel that toughness, that physicality take hold, does that build momentum for you on the defensive side? Do you start to feel it the way you would on the offensive side?
I think, sometimes, offense is just not clicking, and that's just how the game plays out sometimes. But we always control our effort on the defensive end. And, I think for all of us, including myself, things may not have been going the best in the second half, but we did a great job of putting the effort in to give ourselves a chance to win by on the defensive end, finding ways to get stops, get the rebounds, apply the pressure needed to give ourselves a chance to win.
Obviously, they were able to get out to a 20-point lead, but it feels like you guys were able to turn up the intensity and kind of show off that resiliency you guys have shown all year. What were kind of those conversations like as they were taking off and prepping for what you guys were able to do in the end?
We told each other just keep believing and just keep fighting, sticking together, and keep chipping away. It wasn't going to be a 20-point shot where you can just come back. We just had to keep chipping away possession by possession, and then just find a way to keep getting stops and making plays on offensive one as well.
Jalen, how about what OG did in the when you guys were down 20 and what he was able to do there to lift you guys back up?
Yeah, it definitely sparked us, and just the way he's been playing, not just in the postseason but all year. And I mean, I have the utmost confidence in him every time he steps on the floor, on both sides of the ball. So this is what we expect.
Jalen, there are 40 predicts from ESPN's experts. All of them say you're not winning tonight. Like after this game, you got any message for them?
No.
No.
Guess for either of you guys, how important was Mikal, particularly down the stretch, both sides?
He got big stops. He made big-time shots, He just stayed with it, kept playing hard, and you saw the results.
Jalen, when that shot doesn't go down at the end of regulation, you look like you were kind of incredulous. But how do you guys get in the huddle and for overtime kind of just regroup?
Yeah, I feel like we still had momentum at that point. Obviously, wasn't the result, but that we wanted. But we had another 5 minutes to go out there and compete, and we went out there as a team and did that. Just thankfully, I had my teammates. because, overtime I wasn't at my best, but my teammates had my back, and I'm very thankful for that.
OG, I got two for you real quick. Just number one, the season series, Tatum averaged over 30. Just what did you see tonight that allowed you to kind of have your impact on the defensive end?
Just force him into difficult shots. You know, he's a great player, and he's going to make some tough ones. Just try to make him as uncomfortable as possible, and see if he makes the shot. Just make it as difficult as possible.
And then on the offensive end, just at what point did you know that you had it going? Because it looked like every time that you got into attack mode, you made them pay.
I felt like I had it going early. You know, just trying to hunt for shots, get on transition, run, and just be aggressive and make the right play, whether it's passing it or shooting it.
OG, you have championship experience, a lot of playoff experience, but you had your playoff experience taken away from you by injury last year. How much did the championship experience and what happened last year really forge you into this sort of moment here against the defending NBA champion?
I think, I played against great teams in the past, and we all have experience. You know, Jalen's been in the conference finals, Mikhail and Cam been in the finals, Kat's been in the West Conference Finals. So I think collectively we're all experienced group, and shows like in moments like this, like in tough games, we're resilient.
Boston, 15 of 60 from beyond the arc. I guess what was working for you guys? Obviously, they missed some open looks, but I guess schematically, what was working for you guys to get out and challenge?
You want it?
They still got a lot of threes up, so it's on us to limit their attempts. But I think for the most part, we made them tough. They had a lot of easy looks that they were thankful that they missed, but we got to continue to make it tough, and you just don't know when they're going to be able to knock them down, because they also, I think, at the beginning of the year, almost had a record on us shooting 63s. So we got to be better at that aspect and not let them shoot as much, and not let them get open shots up.
You guys did a lot of switching tonight, and it felt like at the end it really wore on them. Everybody kind of defended one-on-one for both of you. How much of that game plan is coming in as a collaboration with Thibs and let's try this, these are things that we think we can work on, or how much is it the coaching staff coming to you guys with this game plan and thinking just something different to try for this group?
I think it's a mix of both. The coaches coming to us, and then the players also taking the challenge and wanting to guard, wanting to get stops, just taking pride in playing defense. I think we all did it tonight, and we can get even better.